Happy Sunday, Stampers and Paper Crafters. It's March 16th, 2025, and this is Facebook Live number 387. My name is Joy Borwedge, and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. I live in Burnsville, Minnesota, and I have been a demonstrator since August of 1999. I have a super cute fun fold card for you tonight, and there will be somebody who gets a chance to win it. So I'm going to put you down at the table in just a second. If you get motion sickness or anything like that, just look away and I'll let you know when I am done messing around with the camera. All right, so hold on. So hopefully everybody had a great weekend. This weekend happened to be the Stampin' Up! On Stage, which is the what we used to call convention. Again, this is going to try to tighten it up. But anyways, everybody who got to go to convention got a new copy of the Stampin' Up! Catalog and got to find out what the new in colors were going to be. So I was not able to go. Hopefully, maybe the next one would be kind of fun. It's going to be in California. But you never know. So anyways, my name is Joy Borwedge again. My Instagram page is Stampin' for Joy, so you can check out all my previous videos. The, let's see, my online store is stampinforjoy.stampinup.net. And the host code is CUBD9EUU. So you can use that host code when you have an order that is under $150. When your order is over $150, don't use that host code because then you can receive the free product. And that new hostess benefit is coming live, I believe, April 15th. And what that will be is everybody is going to receive rewards based upon their subtotal in sales. And so you can get, so if you play, and it has to be $20 or more. So you get 10%, and that goes into kind of like a little bank, and it saves it. And I believe you have a year. Terry, hi, welcome. I believe you have a year to watch it, or to use it up. And let's see. And you can save. So on your next order, you can use that. It's going to ask you, it's going to tell you how much you have in your, basically your reward bank. And then you can spend it on your next order. But you can save them up too. So if you're looking to receive, if you want something and it's kind of a spendy item, save those rewards and then you can use it on that said item. Hi, Pauline, welcome. All right, so like I said, the new catalog has been released. I do not have it because I did not go to convention, but I know that everybody loves it. So there's going to be some changes in the new catalog, and Stampin' Up! Kind of announced that a while ago. So this is the annual catalog. It is live until, thank you very much, Pauline. It's live through the end of April. Now this the spring mini catalog is also good through the end of April. So what's going to happen is the items that are not moving over to the next catalog or the online exclusives, which will never be in a catalog, if they're not moving on, they're going to be put on the last chance list. Now that last chance list will be updated with products from here and with products that are also on the online exclusives. Now, the beginning of March, they also released some new online exclusives. So those are a really great place to look when you're looking to shop. And so don't forget about the online exclusives, and also don't forget about the last chance products, because some of those actually have discounts on them. So check those out. And also the scrapbooking brochure is going to be, I'm sure, until the end of April, because the new catalog will have scrapbooking items in it as well. All right, so today's card, oh, and before that, I want to show you, I had some Happy Mail sent, and this was sent by Vicky Mori, and she sent me this beautiful card, and she used all Stampin' Up! Product, and it's very pretty, and there's a lot of texture on here, so I love texture. So she is just thanking me for all the videos and the cards that I do. And so speaking of videos, just to let you know that if you like this video, share it, because it only has a 30-day lifespan. Then Facebook is going to delete it. Now, I'm going to share it over onto my YouTube page so that it can last a little bit longer than that. So share this. And also, if you do make it to my YouTube page, also like and share as well. So tonight's card, I'm only going to show you the beginning of I'm not opening this card to show you what's inside, but you're going to want to stick around to watch that. But let's show you what we're using to make this card. As you can tell, we are using Friends of the Ocean Suite. It's on page 31 in the Spring Mini Catalog. So we're going to be playing with this Designer Series paper and the bundle. Now, the bundle is when a stamp set and a die set, or a bundle, is a stamp set and a punch. When you purchase them together, you save 10%. Now, you could see that we're using a lot of the dies in this card that I am making. And we're also using the Friends for Life stamp set. And this also has dies that coordinate with it. And I don't have those close to me right now, but it's a bundle as well. Then, let's see here. We're going to be using the jewels. This is called the Sunny Day Iridescent Dots, and I really like them, as you can tell. And we're also using the, let's see, the ribbon's called Summer Splash. And let's see, it has a name. Nope. Bordered Ribbon. There we go. It's called Bordered Ribbon, and it's the Summer Splash, and it's very pliable. So you can make a card with it. You can make a bow, you can make a knot, put it on your card, and it won't be, it's very mailable. We're also going to be using the two punches called the Modern Oval Punch, and then we're going to be using the Labeled with Love punch. Now, these are in the annual catalog, and they are, I'm just going to put them right there, and I'm just going to set them up. Otherwise, it's, oh, well, you know what, I can't put that there. I'll put that right in front of my trash can. That way they won't cover up will not be bringing the shadows. Okay, so now the ink pads that we're using are Memento, and then we have Summer Splash, Berry Burst, Peach Pie, and Lemon Lime Twist. So we'll be using that in today's card as well. And so I'm going to be putting those off to the side. And then, let's see, the items that we're going to be using. Quite a bit of pieces in this particular card, but it's so fun. So we have a piece of Lemon Lime Twist, which is 1 by 4. And then we have a piece of, we have a lobster, a crab, and a crab out of the Designer Series paper. I'm going to put those over to the side. Then we have 2 pieces that happen to be 2 3/8 by 3 3/4, 2 of the same style. Hi, Carolyn, welcome. And then we have a piece of Berry Burst. Well, it is 3.5 by 2.5. We're going to be using a punch for that. And then we have a piece of pumpkin pie, and that's a 2.5 square, and that's going to go on the punch. And then we have a piece of Designer Series paper that actually, yeah. And then we have 3 3/4 by 1.5. That's also going to be punched out. And then we have another piece of Berry Burst, which is 3.5 by 3. And then another piece of Designer Series paper, which is 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. A piece of Basic White, which is 3 3/4 by 2 3/4. Like I said, there's a lot of pieces to this card, but it's a really fun card. Then we have a piece of, now I wanted to use Summer Splash, but I am out of Summer Splash, so Coastal Cabana is good enough, and it actually, you can tell that it kind of coordinates with this Designer Series paper. I mean, look at that. So Summer Splash, to me, on that starfish, and the Coastal Cabana is kind of like the outline. So this is 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. So that's on my next list of things to get. All right, I have a card base, which is 4 by 10.5, and we're going to score it at 2 5/8. So that is part of our card. I'm trying to make it so that if you want to come back and recreate this card, you can get all the dimensions and everything ready to go. Now this piece is that Designer Series paper, and I love the starfish. And it is 4 inches by 12, and we're going to score it at 3, 6, and 9. So we're going to put that there, and that. So now if you don't have this Designer Series paper, you could certainly use it with something else. So I am, like I said, I'm trying to make everything fit in here. Okay, and then we also have a piece of Melon Mambo. Yep, Melon Mambo, which is 5.5 by 4 1/4. All right. So, like I said, there's a lot here, but it's a super fun fold that you're going to want to have a chance to win. Now, I also have a piece of that ribbon that I showed you. And so I'm going to let that sit for just a few seconds. And like I said, this really isn't hard to do, to recreate, but it's something that the reason why I'm going to let this sit here for just a second so that you can come back and get everything cut up, and then you could put it back together as we go. Hi, Judy. I see you. All right. So we're going to put our die cut items over here, and I'm going to leave. So this is going to be die cut. So I'm going to put that over there. And I labeled things on here so I wouldn't forget which piece is which piece. So this is a punch, this is a punch, and this is a punch. So we're going to just take that one off. We're going to take that one off. That one we're going to take off. We're going to die cut with this one. So we're going to put that over in our pile. And so we're just going to leave that. And let's see here. We're going to, let's see what we're going to do with that one. I made this card today, but like I said, when I do, I'm going to stamp on that one. So this is the inside of our card. I'm going to leave the scoring information on there and the scoring information on here. So I might as well take the punches And these I'm not going to do anything with, so I'm just going to put that there. I'm just trying to organize my table because I want to, you know, get rid of stuff as I go. So we're going to do the punching out. Okay, so let's see. This one, we are going to use the Modern Dave Oval in the Fairy Burst. And that's just going to go right there. And then I'm going to close that up and put that off to the side. And then we're going to punch this one out. I'm going to try to make my squiggly lines straight. And then we're going to punch this one out just using scrap paper. Okay, and so we're going to put that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this right in half. Now, it doesn't have to be perfect. And I'm going to miter it a little bit, just right on the edges. Okay. Miter means, like, they use that in wood shop. Hi, Mary. Welcome. All right, so I'm going to take those little pieces and I'm going to throw those away. And while I'm throwing those away, I'm going to grab my silicone mat. And we're going to take this piece and we're going to flip it over. And we're going to add adhesive to it, to the sides here. Well, I should say top and bottom, technically. All right, so this is one of the punches. And I am going to lay that right there. And I'm going to still kind of cut around that a little bit. And then I'm going to do that again with the same thing. So I just have the top and the bottom. And get that off. And we're going to do that one. We're going to do the same thing on this. So we're using our punch to give a border on the outside and try to make it the same amount of spacing. Come on. Lift up. And it's Designer Series paper, so it's not as thick. So you have to make sure when you rip it up that you're pulling gently. All right, and there we go. And so I'm just going to snip again a little bit off of that. There. Okay, so we made a nice little border punch, and that is for, let's see, so we're just going to leave that for now. Okay, and we're going to put that off to the side. Now we're going to stamp our inside. So I am going to grab my Stampin' Pearson mat, and I did not change it, so I'm just going to use this one, and we're going to stamp our inside. And you might have seen me do this on another card before, but I just like the way it turned out, so we're going to still do it. Okay, so we're going to use Summer Splash, and I'm trying to get all my stamps here. Okay, so we're going to do that, and I have to make sure that I'm doing it in, this is bugging me, so I'm going to do it on top of that. So when I have like a messy surface, it drives me crazy. All right, so I'm going to hit my coral in Summer Splash, and we're going to do that full on, and then we're going to stamp off the second generation. So we have two There we go. So we're just going to close that. Oh, no, we're not. Might as well do the greeting. And the greeting, that is from the Friends for Life. And it's going to say happy birthday. And it's going to go right there. So then we're going to now close that. And then we're going to do some lemon lime twist with some seaweed. And I'm just going to go full strength on all three. 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to close that one up. And I'm allowing, Stampin' Up, or I'm allowing the colors that we're using coming from the Designer Series paper. Okay, so Peach Pie is going to be our bubbles. Now, in this set, there's a set of bubbles that have 3 bubbles and a set that has 2 bubbles. Well, I somehow lost my 2 bubbles, and that makes me angry. All right, so Peach Pie is done. And so we're going to clean off our bubbles because we're going to do that in Berry Burst. And seeing as how this is open, we're going to clean off our other stamp sets, or other stamps that we used, because I do not like to leave ink on my photopolymer as long as I don't have to. All right, so then here we are with our bubbles. And so I'm just going to flip it around so the large bubbles are not going to be in the same spot. Okay, so that is our inside for the card, and we're done with that. And we're going to come back and add Wink of Stella to it later on, but that's okay. We don't need to do it now. And then we're going to do some die cutting. So I am going to grab the stamp. Oh, actually, you know what? Let's do our scoring. So I kind of want to get that out. Oops, I'm going to throw that back in the trash. This is our Simply Score tool. I prefer to use this when I'm scoring, just because I don't tend to grab the wrong one and cut instead of score. So we're going to score at 3, 6, and 9. So I am just going to go to 3. And I'm just going to do that twice. And I'm not going to push down really hard at all. I'm just going to push, because it's Designer Series paper, you don't want to cut it. All right, so then here is 9. So 3, 6, and 9. Okay, so I'm going to throw that away. We'll put this off to the side here. And then this here is our lemon lime twist. And so we're going to score this at 2 5/8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and where my pointer is, that is my 5/8. And because I'm doing a cardstock, I can do it a little bit harder. All right, so then we're going to throw this one. We're going to put this back now. And so we're going to grab the bone folder and give that a nice burnish. And I'm actually going to just take my cardstock and line this up, and so it meets in the center. And then we're going to create that nice burnish. Okay, so now it's in the center. Okay, and so now we're going to actually just grab the 2 Designer Series pieces. And when you do this, you want to make sure that your crustaceans, or if you have dimensional or directional paper, you want to make sure that they're facing the right way, because the first one I did, or my, sample, I actually did it wrong, and luckily I only did it on one. And so what I did is I just went around like this. Hi, Don, welcome. And that is not straight, so now I have to rip that up and straighten that up a little bit better. Come on, lift up. All right. Come on, come on. I just don't want to rip up the paper. There we go. I need to center that a little bit better in there. Okay, so now I think I got it. All right, now we can push that down. Much better. Okay, so then this piece right here, same piece. And, oh, I almost put it on, again, upside down. So make sure your crustaceans are facing the same direction. All right. I think that looks good. Yeah, no upside down lobsters. Okay, so that looks very good. Now, the next one that we're going to do is we're going to take our 3, 6, and 9. Now, I want to have the stripes as my main piece, okay? So we're going to take this one, and we're going to fold it. And I'm going to make sure that that is lined up nicely. So then we're going to take this one and we're going to fold it. All right, so then I'm going to make that come on, let's go together. I could always just whack it off too. There we go. And give that a nice burnish. All right, and so our last one, there we go. And so this one is going to end up. Now this card, I was hunting, because I did not go to on stage. I was hunting for videos for on stage. And so this card came across. I was looking, and I told my friend Carolyn, who is on here tonight, I told Carolyn that I want to do a Facebook Live today using Friends of the Ocean, because I haven't done a Facebook Live with it for a while. And so this here is Coastal Cabana, but I hadn't thought about what I was going to do. So while I was, what's the word, stalking demonstrators, this card came across, and it's from Rhonda Wade. And I changed it quite a bit, but I certainly had to do it because she did this card using, all right, so I'm going to create, let's see, but hers was like a reel, and it was done really fast. And I had to sit there and pick it apart and try to figure out how she did it. So I'm doing a Facebook Live, and like I said, I changed it up quite a bit, and so you could go and check it out. All right, so that is Melon Mambo, okay, and so far, this is where we're at. So we have the 2 designer series pieces facing the correct way, and then we have this piece attached to Coastal Cabana, and it's going to open up this way. So now we're going to add this part to the inside of the card. Okay. And that is going to go in there. There's a fuzzy on that. in there like that. Okay. And so it's going to open up. This is the inside of our card. So we're going to put adhesive on this. And that's going to go right in there. I mean, who would not be happy to receive this card, right? Okay. Thank you, Dawn, very much. Okay. So then now we are going to stamp. Now, I want, let's see, we're going to use hello in Memento. And I'm like, where did I put my Memento? There it is. It's hiding. Hiding, I say. All right, so before we add anything here, I want to do my stamping on this. All right, so this is going to say, and by the way, if you haven't seen my other videos, I took the hello and friend and I gave them a haircut. Right smack dab in the middle. So it's one long sentence, but I decided not to do that. So I just said hello. And because you know what? I might want to say hello to anybody, but maybe not a friend. Okay. So now I do think that, let's see here. This part is the front of the card. So now we're going to put this also right here. So we are using the same stamp or the same starfish that you see here on this piece. Now, I'm going to ask you guys, seeing as how you guys, somebody's going to get entered to win this card. Do you want to say hello, friend? Or do you want to leave it and just say hello? I'm going to take a little pull and let you guys decide while I clean off my hello. Squeak, 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 squeak. All right. So what do you guys think? Say friend or no friend? Let me know. And I'm going to get out my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine while you guys are taking a part of the poll. All right. There is my Stampin' Cut Emboss machine. Okay. Friend? Okay, Flo, thank you. I got one for friend. Okay, so then we're going to take that. Plain hello. Okay, gives you the option. Okay, we got one or one. One and one. The next person decides it, guys. I like just hello. Okay, we're going to leave the friend off. And whoever wins this card, if you have a friend, you can put it on there if you wish. There we go. All right, so we're going to cut out 2 crabs. So we're going to have to go back through. And I love the fact that in this designer series paper, you get 2 pages of lobsters and crabs that these dies cut out. So if you haven't seen me before, this is how I store my paper. The front side is full sheets, and then the back side is anything that I cut into. And then in here, it's a small baggie that I used for like small parts. And then when I was creating for our event, I kind of overdid it with these cutting up starfish. So I have a whole bunch to use up while this paper is still around. Okay, so that's how I do my scraps. Okay, so this is part of the dies. How you doing, Judy? All right, so I'm going to have to get, I'm going to get a Post-it note to put on so I don't move anything. I just love the fact that you get 2 pages of creatures. When we did our virtual event, I cut a bunch out for everybody, and so I gave them a lobster and I gave them a crab and gave them different colorations so that you weren't stuck with just the pink or just the peach pumpkin pie. All right, so there we go. Get this guy going. All right, so now I'm going to put that top plate on. I like to keep my top plate pretty clean so I can see, and the bottom plate I like to use, and that's my cut up plate. And then when my top plate gets messed up and my bottom plate gets to the point where I don't want to use it anymore, then my top plate becomes my bottom plate. Isn't that just adorable? I love the lobster, or the crabs. And let's see, let's get a new one. Well, thank you, Judy. All right, so we're going to, did that, that moved. So that's going to be the bottom part of my card. Let's flap that down, my die down on the glass mat, and then it cuts out, or comes out. So this is going to be, we're going to put that at the bottom, so you're not going to see that. So still use it. All right, so the dies go back on my little magnetic sheet over here, so I don't set that down and accidentally throw it away. Has anybody had to dig, or I keep like a grocery bag, and that's my trash for my recycling, all my papers and stuff. Anybody ever have to go through that looking for dies? Yeah, not fun. I'm doing well, thank you. I take the Stamparatus magnet, and I'll take a handful of sheets out and then scrap, and then I'll just wand it. And I have found things like that. Not fun. Okay, so I'm going to take my people poker and poke it through the holes. This is my take your pick tool. It is one of the most used tools in my stamp room. I call this the people poker because I am the people it pokes. All right, so I mean, isn't that just lovely? Okay, so that, we're done with that one, and that die is done. All right, so then I'm going to put that back on, the lid back on, and we got one more thing to die cut, and we're going to do this pretty little crab here, and just kind of get through everybody, look at its legs, and then just, you could stamp your crabs and your lobsters when your designer series paper is all gone. I am sure that if this, I do not know if this moves over to the new catalog or not, but if this designer series, oh man, it moved pretty good. Well, let's go get another one. I don't like that. All right. So let's get another crabby. So that one was kind of a peachy one. So our next peachy one in line is that one. So let's go get them. Now, I really like the designer series paper on the back side. So it's hard when you have two sides that you like. So you need to buy 2 packs of paper. Yeah, so what I was saying is, before I got squirreled, is that if this does not make it, this designer series paper, if it goes on the last chance list, is going to be sold out really quick. Just because it's super, super cute. And if you have the stamp set, you kind of need it. All right. Let's do a better job cutting that out. Maybe we'll look at it with the better lighting. And then I'll move it over. There we go. That looks better. Okay, now we can move that over so it's in the picture better. Okay, hopefully this does it really good. Better than the last one. Sorry for the shaking of the table. Okay. I mean, if I was doing that crab just for me, I would just cut it up a little bit. But seeing as how somebody's going to get a chance to win this card, I want to make sure that whoever wins is going to like it. Right. So much better. Okay. There we go. Now we got all our parts cut out. All right. Let's get on with the rest of our card. Okay. So this piece right here is, I'm going to grab my silicone mat so we could see things better. Okay, so we're going to take this piece and this piece, and we're going to put glue on the back side. And my friend Carolyn, who's on here, gave me this really cool glue holder. Now, can you tell me why? So it fits in there like that. Thank you, Carolyn. So that was a cool thing. And she was over at my apartment yesterday getting caught up on some cards that she had to stamp. And because she couldn't make my stamp camp, and so and finish her event cards that we had at the Stampin' event. Oh, speaking of Stampin' event, I'm getting squirreled again. But anyway, she was over here. I'll talk about that in just a second. She brought hers over, and she said hers is, much prettier. But I said, it still works. Okay, so I'm going to put that there. So I'm going to do this one first. All right. One right there. And notice I am not gluing. I'm only gluing parts at the bottom, okay? All right. So there's that line there, the fold. And this way, we are not, it's still gonna move. So it's gonna give some depth in there. All right. But anyways, I said event. We have the in-person event, Saturday, June 7th. It is at the Highland Park Church. We've had it there for numerous years, and it is a lot of fun. So check out thestampinevent.com. I don't know if the registration is available yet, but get your name in there as soon as you can register. You get a pack of 16 make and takes. Now, like I said, we did those stars, those starfish, and we have them cut already. So that's the only reason why I didn't do it for the video. Oh, But anyways, I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool, the putty end, to help me with that placement. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of glue, and I'm going to put a piece right there, and the putty part is going to grab the starfish, okay? And the next one we're going to put right there. So I'm going to grab my starfish. So now this putty part is not made just for grabbing jewels and rhinestones. I mean, that's a jewel, or sequins is what I was trying to think of. So use that also to handle small, tiny things, which would be very good for me because I don't have fingernails to grab anything. But make sure my first card, I kind of had some of my starfish over the line, and yeah, we don't want to bend back our starfish because that would kind of hurt them. All right, so we're going to leave this one alone, and the next one here, we are going to, I'm going to put this back in my ornament. We're going to put dimensionals on here. Now, part of this here, I'm using dimensionals that are chopped up. Actually, I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool to help me. Okay, so to do the bigger pieces. So let's use this piece right here. Come on, move over. Because I will not start a new page of dimensionals until I am done using all the bits and pieces. Yes, Carolyn, I know. All right, so I am actually just going to leave it where it's at, okay? Because this card is going to have a lot of layers to it, I actually, in my first card, put dimensionals everywhere. So by doing it this way, you're allowing the dimensionals to kind of not stack up on other layers. It's going to kind of smush in. So therefore, it's not going to cost a lot as it would to put it through the mail. So we're going to put that lobster right there. Okay. So see how there's layers here? Okay. So we're going to close that. And then this part here can smush in. So that is the front part of our card. And so now we're going to put more stuff on here. All right. Now, I had already taken the liberty to die cut this piece. I cut it in half so you could see this piece was right here. So on my card, I used this piece. So I snipped it because I didn't want to use the whole piece. So just know that this piece is out of that. So again, we're going to do just a little bit of glue down at the bottom, okay? I'll put that back in my spot, and that's going to go right here, okay? And then we're going to take the pink crab, and we're going to just put a little bit of glue at the bottom of the crab. And I'm going to use the snout of my glue to kind of push that away from the part. Because, again, we're just giving a little bit of action right here so that there's a little bit of shading. We're not putting any dimensionals in there, but you can see that it's going to have a little bit of motion. Okay. Now we're going to take the same thing as we did with the other starfish, but we're just going to kind of cover up here. So we're going to just put a dot right here and grab the starfish. There we go. I'm just going to use my People Poker to just hold that for a second so my fingers don't get all gluey. That is a word, gluey. And if it's not, I just did it. All right, so then right here, we're going to grab another, we got a glue booger, glue bubble. And so we're going to twist that, put that right there. Oh, just stay. I'm talking to paper. Inanimate objects. Yep. All right, and then we're going to put another glue dot right there, or a glue spot, I should say. Take your pick tool, grab that, and hold that, and there we go. So see how it's kind of lifted up, but it's not, it's going to go through the mail just fine, okay? All right, so we're good with that right now. All right, so let's put the lid back on the People Poker and the dimensionals. Oh yeah, we're going to need the dimensionals. So we're going to close that up, and we're going to come back to these pieces. Okay, so we're going to put dimensionals just at the top. This is where these pieces come in and are perfect. So now I'm going to put that back and the lid back in the People Poker. Off, I should say. Oops. Didn't mean to grab that one. I wanted to grab this one. And so we're going to put glue, or that right there, just in the center. All right. So then we're going to stab at a slight angle and grab those dimensional backings. And we're going to lay this down just like that. And put this first, because I wanted to get an idea of where this is going. Come on, just put that down, lay this over here. There we go. Now we know where we're going to put that. Just going to see a little bit of that color underneath. And now this is not going to really go anywhere. Okay, so we could decide how much, where we're going to go. So I think we're going to go right there. And we're going to put just adhesive on that side without that. So we're going to lay that back down. So we only want the adhesive on one side, not, and we don't want it to show, okay? But it's also going to make that ribbon stay. And then our cute little crab guy, he's going to go right on top. And we can put just a little bit on him like that. It's going to go in the center. Okay, but we're not putting any on his feet or on his pinchers. Okay, all right. So, I mean, how cute. All right, so then we're going to tie a bow. Come on. Nope, I'm grabbing the wrong spot. There. It's close enough, right? It's not tight enough for me. Um, Hold that finger down in there. If I wasn't, I would put a mini glue dot right there. But seeing as how this is going to somebody else, and somebody else is going to mail it to somebody else, I don't want to put a mini glue dot there. So there we go. So we're just going to fool around with the length of the bow, the ribbon, and we'll just, come on, go that way. I want you down here. It doesn't want to, but that's okay. All right. So we'll just do it this way. See if that'll work. Live on air, folks. That's what happens when you do Facebook Lives. I mean, I'm a good bow tire. I used to work at a flower shop. I used to have to make corsages and boutonnieres. All right. That one's even looking worse than the other one. Oh, well. So we'll give that a little, I don't like that. We're going to turn around this way one more time. This is not one where you can tie your bow or tie a knot and then put a bow on it. Because I like to do that too, where you put your paper through underneath and then do a mini glue dot bow and stick it right on. But you can't do that with this kind. All right, that actually looks pretty good. There we go. All right, so we're going to snip that. There we go. And there we go. And then now we're going to use those beautiful Sunny Day iridescent dots. I mean, this says happy in just one little package. I mean, the colors are just so pretty. And actually, I just noticed that today, that there's a tiny little bit of glitter in there. And I've used this a lot. Okay, so then I'm going to put the lid back on my People Poker. Flo, thank you for that. Yeah, I was a floral designer for 9.5 years, and I had to get out of it. 80 hours in a week for Valentine's Day was, a little bit too much for me. All right. So we're using all 3 different colors. Oops, my hat just hit the camera. All right. So what do you think? We're going to have to go back in with the Wink of Stella, because, that's what I do. Everything needs Wink of Stella. Okay, I'm not going to mess with this. I'm just going to put that off to the side. All right, so we're going to close that up. And we're going to leave this out. But we're going to get the Wink of Stella. And we're going to shake it up. All right, so thank you, Judy. Thank you, Carolyn. We're going to do kind of like where the highlights are. We're not going to get his eyeballs, because crabs have, shimmery eyeballs. All right. Okay, so, you could see the glitter on there just a little bit. All right, so now we're going to have to go and make that pretty bow not look so good anymore. All right. So, open that up. And then, okay, so again, we're going to do the same thing with the crab, but we're also going to do the starfish. So we're going to Wink of Stella those guys up. Wow. Yeah. You know what? My favorite time, though, was Valentine's Day. Get me out of the back room And I would have that guy leaving with the $100 bear, the box of chocolates, and the roses, plus a beautiful card. That was fun to me. You came in on the last day? Ha ha ha. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. All right, I'm going to get those eyeballs. Okay, so we're also going to do the hello. Just the chunky parts. Okay, so then we're going to open that up, and we're going to do the lobster. And just again, this is designer series paper, so we don't have to worry about swirling it off, because this is wet. And if we were doing something that was inked up, it would reactivate that ink, and it would bleed. And so I don't want to make anything bleed. All right, so we're just kind of doing the highlighted areas, kind of where the artist put the certain color. You could choose whatever color you want to play with, and then use that as your definition for highlighting. Okay, so we're done with that. This one we're leaving, and this one we're just going to, again, do the starfish. If you wanted to do the corals, you could. And then now we're going to do the Summer Splash coral. And we're going to do the one that we did the second generation on as well, but hopefully not pick up, because there's really not that much ink to blend in. Okay, now what do you think? Would this be something that you would want to win? Okay, so let's just go over that again. So that's the front. We'll do this a little closer so you could see it better. So that's the front, and then you open it up, and you could say hello. Now, wouldn't this be a great Christmas card? You could do a photo in here, another photo in here, another photo in here, and then have maybe another photo, and then have something else. Now, if you wanted to, you could do another photo here, and then maybe put some white on the line. That this one here says Merry Christmas, and this one has all the names that are signed. But wouldn't that be a fun way to do that? Okay, so if you found this video interesting, you liked it, do a thumbs up or a heart. That gets your name entered to win this card. Leave a comment. That gets your name entered to win this card. Now share this video on your timeline, and you get 2 entries to enter to win this card. Now, there might be, say, a paper crafter that is on your timeline that hasn't touched their stuff in a while. Maybe seeing this video might encourage them to make a card and mail a card. So thank you again for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening. I appreciate you showing up and liking and talking back with me and everything. So take care. Have a great week. I hopefully will be back on Thursday with a new card. And I think that is it. Thanks again for hanging out with me on a Sunday evening.